Yeah, nigga, I'ma eat. Swear to God, I'ma eat. I'ma get it in these streets. Yeah, nigga, I'm a beast. Swear to God, I'm a beast. I'ma moving on these streets. Yeah, nigga, I'ma run it. Make the game go wild. Make the game go wild. Yeah, nigga, I'ma run it. Make the game go wild. Make the game go wild. I'm just that nigga who ruling. I swear to God, I'm not losing. I'm here to gas and no cruising. She like it fast when she moving. I'm in the game and I'm crushing. Ain't no loving and hugging. I want the money, I'm coming. If I gotta pull it, I'm dumping. Ain't no apologies coming. You wanna run it, we run it. I mean, it's really that simple. Yeah, it's really that simple. I'm the Mac and I know it. I know I really don't show it. I hit your girl with a line and have her naked and posing. I be smiling and waving. They say my voice sound amazing. I think they love me like Jalen and then I feel them like Kayla. I'm the myth and the legend. Came from the lowest of peasants. I hit the podium running. So when I speak, it's so reverent. Cause I'm the king just like David. If I want it, no waiting. You know what time it is, baby. You know I aim with the waiting. All my niggas is kings. All my bitches is queens. You can feel some type of way, but we live in the dream. Nigga, I'ma eat. Swear to God, I'ma eat. I'ma get it in these streets. Yeah, nigga, I'm a beast. Swear to God, I'm a beast. I'ma moving on these streets. Yeah, nigga, I'ma run it. Make the game go wild. Make the game go wild. Yeah, nigga, I'ma run it. Make the game go wild. Make the game go wild.
What you don't want to do, and this is what they don't want to tell you, you don't go somewhere and marry in an environment which a bunch of other dudes get to fornicate with the same woman you don't get to fornicate with. But you get to marry. That's when you know you don't want to marry, because you're actually being insulted by being chosen for marriage. When a chaste woman chooses you for marriage, that's a compliment. When an unchaste woman chooses you for marriage, that's an insult. Even if they don't think it is. And as a matter of fact, they know that it is. They know it's an insult. Saying that when you accept that stepdad role before you have your own, she looks at you as a genetic inferior. And so you can't come back from that. You can't convince her of anything else at that point. That's it. You're genetic inferior. End of. She can't see you any other way.
Those of you black women who are listening to me, if you're a good black woman, this don't fucking apply to you. I'm talking to these hoes out here taking advantage and talking shit. This doesn't apply to you. Don't step in this motherfucking war zone, because I'll fuck you up too. Y'all had 50 years of sitting by watching these horrible, ridiculous ass women talk shit about black men. And you did nothing. You sat there, you kikied and you laughed. I ain't fucking with y'all. I'm leaving y'all alone. I'm giving you a pass. I get it. Women don't like to attack other women in public. I fucking get it. Don't jump in this motherfucker trying to defend these women for this horrible behavior. We will fuck you up too. Okay? Don't jump in this shit, because by not saying anything about it, you tacitly agree to their activities. So stay out of this shit. This is necessary. This is a culling that's happening right now. So mind, turn the other way, go back to your husbands and your children, sit your asses down and shut the fuck up, and let these strong men that you've been asking for deal with these rotten, savage ass hoes that's out here messing up your reputation. Because see, some of us have daughters. Some of us have wives that are black. Some of us have sisters and mothers that are black. And we don't want to get them caught up into this whole shit. And we don't want their reputation to be shit on. We don't want them to have to go in public and be looked upon like they're some fighting in the motherfucking airport hoes. Scrapping in the Walmart hoes. Shit talking loud ass, disrespectful. We don't want our daughters to get caught up with that. So let us men deal with these hoes. Since y'all was unable to do it, here we are. We're going to deal with it. You have 55 years. You didn't do what you were supposed to do. You sat back, you let them do what they wanted to do, and now it's our turn. They should have listened to you, but they didn't. And now they what? Now they about to get it from the men.
Yeah, I feel like I join the choir. Shit, I should go to church. Praise the Lord. Amen. Amen. Praise the Lord. I think I'ma join the choir. Cause we was sinning, we was hanging in the field. We had Glocks with distinctions. It was wicked and tricky, yeah. Oh, we was sinning, yeah. Oh, we was sinning, yeah. I think that I'ma join the choir. Cause we was sinning, we was Losing your best man, losing your blood brother from a sister, wishing you can free him again. All the real niggas put y'all hands in the air for the real niggas y'all getting lost. All the real niggas tell y'all gang in the air for all the bitch niggas y'all that's tossed. Man, this shit got real crazy, feel like we losing niggas on the daily. All I had tears in my eyes, anger said somebody need to die. I was trying to get some get back, they killed my homie of a bitch, nigga. I'll be down, won't get my get back. Let's crack and look at me wrong, that boy about to get his shit pushed back. I think I'ma join the choir, cause we was sinning, we was hanging in the field. We had Glocks with extensions, it was wicked and tricky, yeah. Oh, we was sinning, yeah. Oh, we was sinning, yeah. I think that I'ma join the choir, cause we was sinning, we was hanging in the field. We had Glocks with extensions, man, that shit got real wicked and tricky, yeah. Oh, we was sinning, yeah. Oh, we was sinning, yeah. I think that I'ma join the choir.
All right. Welcome to the Too Much Moxie podcast. I am your humble host, Too Much. And you know what we're here to do, man. We're here to get into this, we got to get into this fiasco. We got to jump in. We got to get in where we fit in. You feel me? Y'all know what's going on, man. We talking about, y'all seen the thumbnail already. We putting it out, man. Y'all know, lots of people have been talking about this, man. I've been wanting to talk about this subject for a long time, man. I've just been busy, and I finally found some time to get back to podcasting. Y'all know, man, we took a month off last month, and I promised y'all this month we're back on our square, and we're back on our square, man. We're getting things going. Yeah, it just takes some time sometimes, but we're getting things going. We're revamping everything. We're changing things around. Logo has changed. We got the merch. Y'all see me with the merch on. Y'all see it. Y'all go ahead and hit up the merch, muchoart.com. Mucho Art, MUCHOART.com. Go ahead and hit that up, www.muchoart.com. Get your merchandise, get your t-shirts, get your wall art. We do some AI wall art, man. We got some amazing things going on, man. And got a whole designer and everything team working around the clock. So we're pushing out some good products for y'all. Matter of fact, let's do this, man. Let me show y'all that. Before we jump into it, give me 1 second, Joe. Give me 1 second. Before we jump into it, let's see if I could just bring up. Give me 1 second, guys. Let's see if I could just bring it up here. Yeah, let's bring up the website. Let's do that. I'm going to stop screen here. We're going to share the screen here. Y'all check out the merch, man. This is the website here, muchoart.com. Let's go ahead and check out muchoart.com. And y'all see we got some wall art. We got some t-shirts. Got some stuff here for you. Some nice things that you can put on your wall here. We got some socks. Got some socks. Got some more wall art for you. Look at that nice, beautiful wall art there. You know what I mean? So y'all make sure y'all check out the muchoart.com. I'll put the website in the comment for y'all to check it out later, man. Get y'all socks. Look at this shirt right here. You gotta love this shirt right here. Look at that. Time Expense men's Hawaiian shirt. Look at that. That shirt. You're gonna be jiggy in this shirt, man. I'm telling you. So we got some things for you, man. Let me show y'all some of the wall art a little bit. Let me get a close look at some of the wall art. And this isn't even, unfortunately, I don't even have all my wall art put up. This is just some of it. Let's check this one out. This is beautiful right here. House by the Beach #2. Check that out. Some nice little wall art here. Too much. Let's do that again. Look at that. Nice, right? Nice. It's nice. So yeah, man, y'all make sure y'all go check out muchoart.com. and get you some nice wall art. Get you some nice pictures on the wall. Get you some nice fresh tees that we got on right here. We got the fresh designs. Get y'all Too Much Moxie t-shirts. Get y'all a shirt. We coming out with the self-reliant t-shirts. So y'all make a y'all make a dash for that, man. Because I'm sure we're only gonna do a limited edition on those. So first come first serve. But we want to drop it on y'all, man. We got some drops. We got some giveaways. We got some gift cards. We got some charitable givings to do, man. So a lot's going to be happening this year. So y'all stay tuned with the channel. But let's get into it, man. Let's talk about our boy, Dr. Umar. Dr. Umar, man, what do we think about this brother, man? You know, he says a lot of interesting things. I agree with some of the stuff he says, but just like any pandering preacher, because that's what it is, brother. I mean, this brother, he's let's just be real. This is just my opinion. Okay, I don't know the facts on this. It's my opinion, but I don't think a lot of strong black men support Dr. Umar like he think. I think Dr. Umar camp is black women. I think that's his base. I think that's his audience, and we're talking about truisms and pandering, right? Truism. So what is a truism? A truism is something that's true, but it's not necessarily true. It's like slavery. It's like a truism is slavery existed and it happened, right? That's a fact. Excuse me. That's a fact, right? But a truism would be when you try to slide in there, some things like slavery existed, but it was embellished a little bit. That's when you get into things like truisms, and you get to the manipulating, and you get to pandering for a certain base. Like you tell the truth, you say something, you say a fact, you say something that is true, but then you throw some you're saying this statement so you can lead people to what you want them to see. So those are the things we got to watch out when dealing with pandering preaching, these pandering pimp preachers out here. But we got to pay attention to why they're talking about this subject and what are they pointing us to. There's propaganda. So truisms is always wrapped around propaganda. And that's what we're going to talk about today, man. And I respect Dr. Umar, man, but he's on the level of Al Sharpton. You know what I'm saying? He's on the level of Jesse Jackson. You know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of the older black people respect these guys, but the younger, we don't respect you. We don't respect these cats. We don't respect no Al Sharpton. We don't be respecting these. It's so easy to be a black leader today. Let me just say that. It's so easy to lead the black community today because anybody can stand up and say they're the leader. There's not really like a definite, like a Dr. Martin Luther King or like a Malcolm X anymore. So anybody can stand up and say, hey man, I'm here to lead the black people. And the dominant, the fake media, the fake news, the media propaganda machine, they'll put the mic in front of any black man and make him out to be the leader. So who is Dr. Umar? Who is Dr. Umar? I mean, this brother finally built a school that with no children in it. Who is Dr. Umar? What's his track record? What has he done for the black community, man? Let's be real. What has he done? What has he done for you personally? What has he done to change? I mean, all this stuff, man. Why do we listen to this man? Because obviously he's intelligent, right? He talks about Marcus Garvey. He talks about, the Pan-Africanism. He said a lot of truisms, man. But what is he pointing us to? What is he pointing you to? What's he trying to get you to see? Sounds good, but what's the end goal here? So I want to bring up the video, man. Let's play the video. Let me cue it up real quick. And this is the video between him and the Daily Wrap Up crew. Now, go watch the whole thing, man. Go, and I didn't get permission to play this video, but we're gonna play it anyway, and we're gonna make it fall into fair use because we are transforming this with my commentation. So we're gonna stop and all that stuff in between, and we're gonna get things going. So here we are. Let's get this started, man. Has feminism conditioned black women to view black men as in? Let's get to the first question, man. Let's get to it. The Daily Wrap-Up crew, the heated debate between our brother Dr. Umar and Daily Wrap-Up crew. And, I'm just going to stop it, especially in the parts where Dr. Umar trying to take control of their panel. And
condition black women to view black men as the enemy.
It has. Feminism was financed by the CIA. Gloria, what was her name? Gloria Steinem, I think she was.
Right, yeah.
Mother of modern feminism, because traditional feminism goes back to the 1800s, right? With Susan B. Anthony.
Feminism is bad, right?
White supremacists. But Gloria Steinem was a CIA agent. They financed her. Her first feminist magazine they paid for. The CIA brought feminism into the white household to get the woman out the house and into the black household to turn the black woman against the black man. To scapegoat us for problems caused for her by white supremacy.
Okay, now I have no problem with this, right? I have no problem with them saying this. I didn't know this, right? I'll be honest with you, I didn't know that CIA and all that stuff. This may or may not be true. This could very, very well be just a truism that he's trying to pass on as fact. I don't know. We'll have to fact check and do some thorough research. I'll, find out if, because, he said a lot of things, man. He said a lot of things. And I have no doubt that feminism and the tearing down of black families and black people and the tampering with our black women is systematic. I don't think any black person disagrees with that. Or at least the majority of black people do not disagree with that, right? So we speak in some truisms again. So let's see, where is he taking us? Why is he saying all this, right? Why is he saying that the CIA infiltrated feminism and turned black women against black men? Why is he saying this? Because he's just saying, he's setting us up to put the onus and the blame once again on the black men. Now, I'm all for holding black men accountable. Nothing against that, man. I think most of the problems with the black man can fix. You know what I'm saying? He just needs to get his mind right. Get disciplined. And make it happen, right? So I'm all for that. It's the black man's fault for the reason why he's at where he's at in this time. I'm okay with that. Collectively, individually, I have no issue with that. Because we as men have to be accountable for that. And we are accountable for how our women treat us to a certain extent. See, if we had the power to fix our current situation, don't you think we would fix it? See, everybody just assumes that the black community is powerless. No, not powerless. But not totally free. I'll just say it like that. And just like most Americans, I would say the same thing. You're not totally free. To really fix the problem between man and woman, because there are systems, there are laws, there are mechanisms put in place to prevent the black man from fixing his current situation. Or he would have fixed it already. That's what I believe. He would have fixed it already if he was able to. But let's go back and see where this brother, Dr. Umar, is leading us, because he's telling us all this, leading us somewhere. Where is it going, brother? Where is it going? Why are you saying all this?
So, obviously, a big thing, obviously, we spoke about the gender wars, earlier. Obviously, there's a lot of conversation nowadays about, you know, the value of what a woman brings and the value of what a man brings in a relationship. And now there's a lot more rhetoric from our women that we hear is I'm strong, independent. I don't need no man. Right. So
That's pain speaking though.
right.
Because most black women know they will never get a man.
Okay.
A black
again.
woman can have sex whenever she wants.
Right.
That's true.
Because she's beautiful.
That's true.
She can have a bed mate, but to have a soul mate, she may never get.
See,
I have 2 daughters, 11 and 20, right? My oldest would be 21 this week. Statistically, right? There's a strong chance my daughter could be one of those. I hope she's not. She could be one of those who never get a husband because only 1 out of 4 gets a husband. You see that?
So he's throwing out these truism and these facts. 1 out of 4 women get a husband in the black community, which is true. 3 out of 4 black women are just not going to be married. And it's not because black men don't want to marry them. It's not because black men don't want to marry them. It's not. We want to marry them. We want to marry them. We do. But we got a problem here. There's a problem. Houston, there's a problem. Black men don't want to marry single mothers. We really don't want to. Some of us do. But if we had our choice, we don't want to marry a single mother. We want to sire a family that belongs to us with our DNA attached to it. We don't want to be in relationships with a woman and find out that the kid that we're with is not really our kid. We don't want to deal with that. We don't want to deal with the blatant disrespect and the back talk and the divisive games and trickery and the emotional just wreckage that comes with it. We don't want to deal with that. So there's a reason 1 in 4, if let me tell you something, if they change the marriage laws, marriage would skyrocket. If they change the marriage law, more men would go out there and marry because they know that if they change if they get rid of no fault divorce, if they get rid of alimony and child support, you know how many men will rush to get married? Rush. Well, it's not going to happen because those laws aren't changing anytime soon. And these are things that should be on every ballot in every state. These are issues that every man in Idaho dealing with the same thing. Western world dealing with this situation badly. The emasculation of men, period, in the Western community is egregious. It's too much of it. It's too far. They've gone too far. Let's get back to it, man. He's leading us somewhere, right? Oh, I done messed it up. That was my fault. I done took it off. Push the button. Let me get it back. There we go. Let's get back into it.
Black woman says, I don't need a man. That is a reaction to the reality that I may not get a man.
I agree with that. That I'm an independent black woman, I don't need a man trope is a reaction to I don't qualify to get a man. I agree with that. 100%. These women out there know they're not wife material. They know. They were never brought up to be a wife. They weren't brought up traditional. There was no one there to teach them how to be a wife. There was no one there to teach them how to respect the man. So I agree with that. The reason why they say I am an independent woman, I can do things on my own. They seen their mama do it. They seen their aunties do it. The reason why that trope is so strong is because deep down inside, they know that they don't have anything to bring to the table for a man. Just facts. Got to keep it a stack. Got to keep it a whole stack up here. They don't have any substance, so they know that. So that's why they say I'm an independent woman. I can do things on my own. I don't need a man. Blah 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 blah. And that's all false. The pandemic showed and proved that. If the world shut down again, what's going to happen to you? Who's going to protect your stuff? You going to protect your stuff, Or are you going to want a man to help you protect your stuff? You think because you got your Smith, you think because you got a gun, that's going to, the intruder got a gun too. But wouldn't it be better to have a man protect you from all that? Why work for 20, 30, 40 years when you can have a man take care of you for 20, 30, 40, you and the children, you and the family? Why go out there and get a boss when your man should be the leader of you anyway? Your man should not have to compete with your boss on what time he gets to spend with his wife and what task he needs his wife to do. But let's see, where is Ifan Tunde leading us, right? Where is he leading us? Let's get into this, man. Because look at his posture, man. He looks engaged, like he looks like he's not happy. But they're asking the right questions here. Let's get to it.
So why not preach? Because I understood, you're obviously against interracial relations when it comes to black men with black women. With white women.
With all women. You should only be with the black woman.
And you will say, well, if you can't find a good woman in America, there's
somewhere else.
In Africa.
Absolutely.
So why not teach that same rhetoric to our women? Like, if you feel
I tell sisters all the time, go to Africa. So I know sisters who marry. I just spoke with a sister. She invited me to the wedding. She just married a brother from the continent.
So, but instead of saying they will never get married, I'll take
sisters to Africa who married brothers they met in Africa.
Right.
So yeah,
I think there's plenty. I think there's obviously plenty of black men,
yes,
black women. So
and what I also tell black women, if you're going to go get you an African man from the continent,
right,
you're going to have to understand that the way in which you talk to black men in America will not be tolerated over there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is where we go. This is where this brother needs to just shut up, man. Because you sound foolish. Let me just say, like Dr. Umar Johnson, we give a damn about your degree and what you carry in psychology and all this stuff. I don't give a rat's. You know what? You're not going to sit here and disrespect the black man and then respect the African man. Did you just say that, brother? That I tell the women that they can't run their mouth like you run your mouth to these simps here in the States. You can't run because these are real men over here. They might put the smack down. So you can't do that, sister. And we got the tape on it. We got the footage, man. A lot of our black American sisters who think that they're gonna get them an African man, they have a rude awakening. Don't bring that modern woman stuff there. Leave it here in the U.S., but don't bring it there because there's nothing to protect you over there. You understand what I'm saying? I don't need to go any further than that, but let me say it's not looking good for the sisters. Let me just tell like that who tries to do what black men or other passport bros are doing. Doesn't equate or work out the same way. I'm not saying that there aren't any success stories, right? We can always find exceptions to the rule, but the majority of the rule is that traditional men want traditional women. Traditional men don't want masculine women, and they don't want modern women. And most of our black sisters, what are they? They're modern women, and they're non-traditional. So it just doesn't equate over into the other continents and cultures as it does here in the U.S. That's what I'm trying to say. Let's get back into Dr. Omar, man, talking about how he trains the sisters not to open their mouths to the African man. But yeah, that's garbage. Let's watch it.
Why the fuck is it tolerated?
It's not tolerated here. That's what we're trying to tell.
Right.
Well, over here, I want to say this to us though, because we try to act like the way sisters treat us doesn't have a history that we are not at least partly responsible for. Let's be honest. The black woman has had to hold down the black house by herself, although imperfectly. She's had to do it by herself since the mass incarceration of black males began in the 1970s. You understand me? Most of our children are raised by a single mother right now. And it has been that way for about 50 years. So when a sister says, I don't need a man, because she couldn't find one strong enough to hold her down.
Jesus Christ, brother. Did you just say that? Did you just say that? That she couldn't find a strong brother anywhere? That's a truism, but that's false. You see what this does? See, this is where he goes off the rail and he starts pandering to his audience. He cannot fully. He's trying to like sneak around. You know, he's trying to tiptoe around holding them accountable, but he's not gonna hold them accountable really. He's gonna say, "Oh yeah, the sisters need to do this. Oh yeah, the sisters might need to do that. But why are they doing this? It's the man's fault." Really? Really, nigga? Really, nigga? Okay. So, you know, and he starts getting ridiculous, y'all. We're not even, you know, it's a 17-minute video, but this brother, he starts getting ridiculous, man. He keeps talking, he just starts getting more ridiculous. Let's get to it, man. Let's get back to his ridiculousness, man. Dr. Umar, I'm not rocking with you right now, brother. I'm not rocking with you, man. Some of the stuff he says, I mean, man, if you watch the whole thing, I think you'll enjoy the whole video that they did, the whole hour or 57 minutes of what the video was, man. I think there's a part 1 and a part 2, so you want to check those out, man, on the Daily Wrap-Up Crew's YouTube channel. But you know, he said a lot of, you know, Dr. Umar Johnson says a lot of things that I'm like, makes me think, and I can get behind. But when he talks about this particular subject here, I can't rock with you. I just can't rock with you, man. I can't rock with you. Just can't do it. It's not rooted and grounded in that realism. It's that truism, but not that realism. You know, we need that realism again. So let's get back into it.
Or when you meet a woman and you say, "Sister, I'm strong enough to be your man. You ain't got to work, or you ain't got to pay the bills, or whatever. Pull back. I got you." And she can't do it because all the other men before you who disappointed her. So what I'm saying is, black men, we got to be patient with our women because we created that personality. We created that, and then we want to act like we didn't play a role.
We have to be held accountable for their poor selection.
No, you have to be held accountable. No, you have to be held accountable because they have a poor selection. See what you're
really, nigga? Really, Dr. Umar? You mean to tell me that if even if it cost me my life or my freedom, or you know, do some jail time, that I gotta still be held accountable for what that woman does because I didn't stop her? When let's say I did try to stop her. Let's say I did try to correct her. What's gonna happen if you correct a black woman today? What's gonna happen? How is that working out for you, Dr. Umar? You know, the same group that you're pandering to, they don't even respect you, brother. They put you on the panel with the transgender woman, and you was calling her baby and sister and queen and mother goddess, and you know they was making a living joke out of you, brother. You was a joke, man. You was a freaking joke, Dr. Umar. Everybody's looking, you know, no one takes your school seriously. No one's really even rocking with you like that and taking you serious. You might get a few $20 donations, you know, and they add up to something for you, man. But, you know, for the most part, brother, I mean, you're out of touch with you're out of touch with today's men. That's for sure. Today's men, we have a solution to fix it, to fix all what you're talking about. It's called the Passport Brothers. It's called Get the Fuck Out of Here. It's called Leave the Matrix. It's called Why Would You Want to Build Something in the Matrix? Are you freaking, why would you want to build something here in the Matrix? No. You go out there into the real world in Zion and you build on that ground. You build on the underdeveloped and you develop it. You don't build on something that's already developed and it has a system and has a mechanism and it only wants to work one way and for a particular group and not for all. You don't thrive in that system. You do the best you can in that system. You take the good and you leave the bad. Take the little bit of good you can and you make it work. Dr. Umar, man, I'm not feeling you, brother. And even the brothers in the Daily Wrap-Up Crew, they're not really feeling you, brother. They're not really feeling you. You feel me? They're not really feeling you.
You're saying you're selecting a poor mate. And what I'm saying is they don't have much to select one, so of course you're going to end up with a poor mate. And why is she going to end up with a poor mate? Because we as black men are not raising black boys to be the men that our women need. We are not.
We as black men.
They out there killing themselves right now. What we doing about it? Unemployed black males, what we doing about it? Pants sagging, weed smoking, what we doing about it? Black men are not raising black boys to be the men our community needs. That is 100% our fault. What I'm saying is she got a right to be angry with us. She got a right to be angry with us. We have not been on our job as black men. If the men are the providers, what have we been providing for our community? I'm not speaking you individually.
Yes.
Because you might be a damn good.
All right. 63% of black men are in the middle class or rich. Another 69 or 59% of black men are single with no children. There are more black millionaires than any other group in the world. Okay. What do you mean there's no good black men out there, bro? You think you're the only one? You think all the women belong to you? You think Ifan Tunde gets all the you who got 2 daughters who ain't even married himself? What kind of puppet leader are you, my brother? Are you working for the CIA? Are you an op? Have they finally infiltrated you? Did you finally cross over to the other side, brother? That's what I want to know, man, because you sound freaking ridiculous, man. Dr. Umar, man, like I want to rock with you, man. You said some things that made sense about reparations. You said some things that made sense about black empowerment and black people and about trillions of dollars and all. I rock with you when you start talking like that, man, because it starts making sense. But I also can't rock with you 100% because I know that that there's always going to be a money grab somewhere with you, and that's how you pandering prophets and pandering preachers work, man. It all comes, and at the end of the day, it all goes back to the money. The trail always leads there, back to the money. Follow the money, and you find out what they really want. Right? A school with no kids. That's what we got from you right now. But I'm not rocking with you, man. We gotta hold women accountable for their own actions. If we really want to be serious, the black men did not destroy the black community with the black women, man. They destroyed it by becoming single mothers. Okay. You're right. There was no black father in the home, but who ran those black fathers out the home? What did women choose? Everybody had a choice when it came to welfare. All the ethnic groups had a choice when it came to welfare. There are more white people in welfare than there are black people because of just the sheer numbers, right? So think about this. Think about this. All the other groups have welfare, but they still have their men and they still respect their men and they don't talk back to them. They don't talk negatively. They don't freaking do what black women do to black men. Okay? The emasculation in the black community with black men is real. It's real. These black women are emasculating our black kings, man. Stripping them of their crown, stripping them of their value before they even know what their worth is. It's not right, and we got to hold them accountable. Dr. Umar, you may not want to hold these women accountable, but as you see this new generation, they're not having it. So you're out of touch with your audience, my brother. You got to get in touch with who you want to turn this around, Dr. Umar. Surround yourself around men and get away from these distracting women, and stop trying to build something with these women and start trying to build something with these men, and watch what happens. Watch what happens. See, it's not the black women that are the community. It's actually the black men that make the community. Okay, if you look in the Bible, and no offense to any women, it's not a sexist or racist thing or anything like that. But I'm saying, when we look in the Bible, women and children were counted. The men were counted. They were there, but they wanted to count the men. And we got to go back to that. We got to go back to putting the emphasis on men leading, men doing, men building. That's what we got to go back to. That's what we got to go back to. That is what we got to go back to. So half truths and truisms and pandering. Just brother. And we just see through. Let's go back to it.
Father, you may be a damn good father. You may be a damn good father, but guess what? What are we doing for the community? What are we doing for the children who don't have a father? You don't think the black woman got a right to be angry when she been raped?
How is that our fault that those children don't have fathers? Why is it not the fathers, those men who sired those kids' fault? Okay, and why isn't it the fault of the women who chose those men?
Raising 2/3 of the kids by herself for 50 years? And the minute she raised her voice, we say she not humble enough.
She chose that, brother.
She had to become masculine to survive the rape, the molestation, the domestic abuse. Are you telling?
Let me tell you like this, brother. As you cut these brothers off, as you go on your rant, as you try to pull rank on this show, let me just say this, brother. It's not the man's fault. Brother. Do men see? So we know that black fathers are the most involved fathers in their children's lives. We know that because the stats are out. The whole scrub and bad father and deadbeat dad, that was a trick bag that modern women pulled on men to steal their power. But we know that statistics say that black men are the most involved fathers, right? So let me tell you this: there are single fathers out there who have to play mommy and daddy. It's like these women claim they're playing mommy and daddy. Why do they have to be masculine, right? But yet we still say masculine when we raise our children, right? Why can't they stay feminine even while they're raising their children? Why can't they still stay in their feminine? Men are not saying, hey, I need to get into my feminine role to raise my kids. No, we're still we're still men. We're just raising children. So why is it any different for a woman, especially when the fight here is for equality? Well, if you want equal rights, you got to take equal lefts too, baby. That's how it goes. What's good for the geese is also good for the gander. Get into it, man. This brother, it's just, you need to stop pandering, Dr. Umar. Stop it.
Telling me you can't see how we created that?
I understand that, but she needs to be
If we was loving
selective.
our women and taking care of our women, do you think she would be like that?
Yeah.
That personality has a history.
If she's picking Pookie and Ray Ray instead of
You're making her a scapegoat.
No, she's picking a scapegoat.
No.
There's good quality men that they ignore.
Why she even got it? Why is there even a Pookie in the selection?
You gotta ask her that.
No. I'm gonna tell you why there's a Pookie in the selection.
What?
Because black men have abandoned black boys and have allowed social media, white media, athletes, and rappers to raise them. That's why she with Pookie.
Yeah, no. Shut the hell up with that, brother. See, that's not true. Sounds good though, and you'll get a lot of applaud and a lot of clapping from women and black women out there. You're gonna get that applaud for saying that. But it's been, black men are not walking away from their children. Very few black men are walking away from raising a family. These men were being pushed out, forced out. And a lot of times black men are dealing with so much disrespect that they just have to walk away from that woman, man. Even though they have a child with them, they gotta walk away because it's just too much. The boundaries, man, the overstepping of the bounds. It's ridiculous among black women, man. It really is. It's ridiculous. It's crazy. It's truly crazy. So, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. But Dr. Umar, man, how dare you, man? I get it, man. We as men, we gotta be, we gotta take control. We got this, but let's be real. It's not just a black problem. The men in America, period, are not allowed to fix the problem. Especially the black man. The black woman will call the police if that man tries to fix the problem. Because sometimes the black man might have to do. Sometimes it calls for, strength. You can't always just use words to fix the problem. Sometimes it calls for strength. It calls for power. I got to show you who's boss. Let me show you who's boss, because you must have forgot. You know, and that's and yeah, you can go to Africa, and then go to Brazil, and go to places like Colombia, even go to East Asia, right? And the men, they dominate. They just gonna put it down. Women know better, because guess what? That door closed. You don't know what's gonna happen, right? Saudi Arabia, you don't know what's gonna happen. So those men are allowed to fix the problem, but the men here in America, especially black men here, we're not allowed to fix the problem. And then when we try, we face jail, we face cancellation, we face shame, insults, guilt, the need to be right. When we try to enforce standards on women, it doesn't go well. So why put standards on women that don't want them when we can just go find women who already have the standards and the quality that we're looking for already? That's where black men are at today. Dr. Umar, we're not playing that. We gotta suffer. All my life, I had to fight Harpo. We're not doing that, brother. This ain't the color purple. We're not fighting for that. Oh, we don't that trick back, brother. You got us fudged up in this neighborhood. You understand? Let's get back to it. It's a long one. I know it's a long one, but we're going to get through this. He said a lot. I'm going to just let it play right now. We're going to get through this.
Pookie. If we never allow Pookie to develop, she would not have a Pookie. If we're going to be men, the first thing we got to do is take responsibility for why our women feel the way they feel.
No, I can hear that.
I'm not saying.
Yeah.
No, brother. We can't control what a woman feels, okay? What she feels is what she feels. Okay, but with men, right, we can reason with men. It's hard to reason with emotions, brother. So it's not happening. The way you take control is you take control. Hey, calm down. We're not doing that. Okay, we're moving like this. That's how you handle it. Because when you're dealing with emotions, you have got to be calmer than the person who's louder or who's more emotional. You got to be calmer, more focused, more sharp, more direct. Because emotions, they just, I don't want to get into it. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. So let's do this, man. Let's go back into the video. Let's play some more of this video. It's a long video. We're going to try to get through it. But brother's already pissing me off.
Yeah. That they're right to disrespect. Because even if a woman disrespects me, right? That still don't give me a right to disrespect her, because she's still the queen of the community. Even
facts. No, it's not true. Y'all thought I was gonna say facts. No. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you how you deal with a woman in the community that's doing something shameful. You shame them. Let me tell you when a woman is being disrespectful, you fucking get it. You fucking call her ass out. Let me tell you something, man. If there is a woman who believes she can go toe to toe with the man, we know that's a false and that she's mistaken. It's time that they become more aware of that. That brothers are not taking it. Shut up. And what I mean, shut your mouth. If you don't shut your freaking, we got to tell them, shut up. It's not time for all that. It's not time for all that emotionalism and stuff. We ain't here for no game. This is the real world out here, okay? I'm not here for your children tyrants today. Temper tantrums today. We're not here for that. We got to grow and we got to build. And we ain't got time to be dealing with these, just like we tell women, y'all need to pick better. We as men are deciding to pick better women, and you can't shame us in the stand here, Dr. Umar. You can stay here and deal with these hoes. You can stay here. But we want chase women. We don't want women that been. I personally do not want a woman that the village has ran through. Me personally, I don't want a woman that the whole village then ran through already. I don't want a woman who decides in their 30s and 40s and 50s that she finally wants a man and wants to settle down and wants a family. I don't want to deal with that type of woman. That's not who I want to deal with, bro. And I don't care what you say. You call it individual and collective. And no, as an individual and as a collective, passport bros are going out to find better quality women. How about that? That's the movement right now. That's the shot we're calling. That's where we're going. We're going to Kenya. We're going to Ghana. We're going to Nigeria. We're going to South Africa. We're going to Ethiopia. We're going to the Philippines. We're going to Thailand. We're going to Colombia. We're going to Brazil. We're going to the Dominican Republic. We're going to wherever we can find traditional women, we're going. And guess what? That's how we're going to restart the Black community. Black men and their traditional wives will restart the Black community. That's what's going to happen. I'm not saying there won't be some Black American women in there, but those will be traditional Black American women. You know, that's what they will be. But for the most part, America's the worst place to look for a wife, man. Don't do it. Don't do it. Go outside the country. Don't look inside. There's nothing here for you but the train. Choo, choo, choo. They ran the train on all these hoes. That's what happened. They want you to marry a hoe. Marry a harlot. That's what they want. Marry a promiscuous woman. Marry a woman who's going to be walking around half naked tomorrow after you marry her. And then you're going to have to die for that woman because some man's going to look and then want to touch, right? And then now she's going to look at you, protect me. And you're going to be like, why did you wear what you wear? If you would have been dressed more modest, maybe this wouldn't happen. My body, my right. My body, my right. Well, your body, your right's putting you in danger. My body, my right. Oh. Simp down. Simp down. There is a simp down. Yeah, that's what's going to happen, man. These women want you to fight their battles, die for them, and they just take all your resources and everything you build goes to them. And then when they take ownership of it, it just all goes to hell. They don't even maintain it. They look for another man to give them another trick bag. After they run through your trick bag, they're going to look for another man to give them a trick bag. That's how it goes.
And if she's not acting like it, I'm going to give her that respect.
Nope.
But when I hear brothers talk like this discourse we having now,
yeah.
See, the social contract is different. Back in the day, you know, you're supposed to respect your elders because even though they may talk crazy or maybe not know everything, you still got to give them respect because they lived life and they were older. That's the social contract of, you know, being civil and how a younger generation deals with the older generation. You give them that respect because they were here first, right? But these modern women, you can't do that. No, you check them. They get it. They get out of line. Check them. Why? Because they're not used to being checked, and they need to be checked. They need to be checked. They need to start getting used to being checked. Because if they got used to being checked, they would shut their damn mouth and let a man do what he's supposed to do, and stop trying to intervene, and project themselves in the man's space. They wouldn't do that if we checked them. So you got to check them, man. I'm not saying you put your hands on them. You don't do that, but you check them, man. You shame them. You let them know. You let them know. You do it at the same level that they came. That they, you do it at the same energy match. Then you match their energy, and you check them strong. No, not weak. Check them strong. Let them know that they're in violation, and they need to think twice before they do this shit again. That's how you deal with it. Not what this brother's talking about. Oh, she's still a queen. Even though she smoked crack, I'm still going to give her, you're a black queen, mama. Even though you a crack fiend, mama. No. There's no crack fiend, black queen, mamas. We're done with that. That was 90s, brother. We're out of that. You got to get your vernacular straight. We're not doing that. We're not respecting women that don't respect themselves. We're not respecting women that don't respect men. Period. We're not protecting women, right, that are not under our protection. We're not doing that, brother. It's just not going to happen. It's never going to go that route. We're not going back there. They in the wilderness, and they got to stay there until they die out. But while they're in the wilderness, we can go dip out into the promised land. You understand? And bring something back. So that's where we at, brother. That's where we at. Let's get back to this heated debate between the Breakfast Club and Dr. Umar.
We act like we don't understand.
No,
There's reasons for that shit.
I do understand. Women are so valuable. You get what I'm saying? Like, I think women.
And these brothers are being very, very respectful to Dr. Umar, man. But they don't, these young cats, and they're doing their things, and I support their channel, and I subscribe to their channel, man. But You know, your young cats, I get you giving OG his props, man. But y'all call that brother out, man. Don't give him too much. Call him out.
Ground men and help them, propel to the next level. I think men get further in life with a woman, right?
Facts.
But if I'm a hardworking man, but I'm only looked at as resources,
okay,
and then she's ready to jump on Tom, Dick, and Harry because he got flash, he's shining a little bit more. His access to money is quicker than mine. It's kind of hard to have that.
Well, no, one, I agree with you, but that's not all sisters.
No, it's not.
And
it's not.
If you're constantly running into that type of woman, then the problem is you because you're attracting a certain low vibrational energy. Why?
That's not true in the U.S. Maybe outside the country. All right. If you don't want to attract, there's not that many non-traditional women outside the country, but there are. You'll find some slave queens. You'll find some gold diggers out in other countries, man. You will find them. But for the most part, he's right. You won't attract them if you're on your square. He is, there's a lot of truisms, man, but you got to listen to where he's trying to lead you and what he's trying to say. There's always the end goal. This brother wants you to stay, and his end goal is he wants black men to stay in the United States and suffer with these black women and have patience with them. He wants us to wife them up and become stepdads, right? Just so we can raise the black community. That's what he wants. And while we're doing that, they still can have an attitude. They still can divorce us. They still can take our money. They still can take our kids. They still can get alimony and child support. So it's like a double whammy. You see that, Dr. Umar? You came on a brother's podcast and you said the most ridiculous things. I just want you to know that you said the most ridiculous things regarding accountability, black women, black men, gender roles, and things like that. Totally, utterly ridiculous. Not even well thought out, I don't think.
Why not have that same energy for women? You just again, you held the man responsible.
Because we having a conversation as men.
Yeah.
I got plenty of interviews with all women where I check them too.
All right.
But as a man, you should not be concerned about what I say to them. No, as men, we should be concerned of what we're going to do to produce a better generation of black males for tomorrow. That's the only that is where we should be focused.
It's called Passport Bros. I just told you the solution, Dr. Umar. It's called bring in a better quality of women, replace the women that we have now, bring in the women with the culture already intact, and raise our families, raise better children, higher education, smarter, more scholastical, more entrepreneurial, everything. That's what it takes because these group of Negroes, you can't talk to them about living trust. You can't talk to them about life insurance. You can't talk to them about investing. You can't talk to these group of women and these group of Negroes today. A lot of these Negroes, a lot of these simps, that's the real war. If we got to, you're right. You're absolutely right. If we didn't give women the option of Pookie and Ray Ray, there wouldn't be a Pookie and Ray Ray, right? We should have went to war with these Pookie and Ray Rays until they were dead. Yes. That definitely needs to be done. We need to get rid of all the simps, all you pandering ass weak niggas who just mess the game up and keep, oh baby, I like you. Oh, let me count the ways. Oh, those eyelashes, those Muppet eyelashes. Oh, baby, that body. Yeah. No, we don't need you. She's a 2 in the face and a 10 in the weight. No. We don't need that. We don't need you hyping these women up. Sorry. Simps, y'all destroyed this data market by letting these women think that they can get whatever they want, whenever they want, because they got vagina. Thanks to you, simps. Thanks to you, simps. Y'all messed the game up. Let's get back into it, man. It's a long one, man, but we cooking. We about an hour in, man, but we're about to cook a little bit more, and we're about to end the broadcast. But just bear with you, boy.
Women bring the choice of life, right? We understand that, right? I can't have a child unless a woman agrees.
And she can't carry one if you didn't put it in her.
I agree with that 100% too, right? But whether or not, if you want that child or not, she can still make that decision.
Yeah.
It's only
If
up
you
to
don't
her.
put a seed in her, nothing else happens. And no woman can make you put a seed in her. So the original act was the responsibility of a man.
True.
I can get
I
on board
mean,
with that.
All right. So did black men willingly leave the household, or was it the system that was?
It was
putting them-
systemic.
All right. So how if we giving them grace for them having to do it without us, but it wasn't our fault? How
But-
we not getting that same grace and that same respect?
I'm gonna tell you
Well
why.
said, bro.
I'm gonna tell you
Well
why.
said.
Because black men, as the leaders of the community, now
Right.
we can't be leaders.
here's the
Women
question
not
we got to
accepting
make.
that.
Here's the question. Because the argument y'all make
Yeah.
feeds into the feminist agenda.
Okay.
It's an argument that says I don't want the responsibility.
I'm a leader.
I
at
don't
my
want
home,
to fix
though.
shit,
Mm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna fall back and let her run everything. That's what the feminists tell. They say, look at them making excuses for why they can't be better men, making excuses for why they can't make better men. You understand? Your argument feeds the feminist narrative.
That's
and it's
not.
dangerous.
That's not what we're making
That's not,
excuses
that's
for.
what we're not. I'm saying I am the better man, but I shouldn't be held responsible because you wanted to choose a Pookie and a Ray Ray. That's not me. I worked too
And
hard
I'm
in
gonna
my
go back
life.
to what I said. Pookie and Ray Ray shouldn't exist. And the only reason why Pookie and Ray Ray exist because we're not in the community making those boys the men they need to be. Do you
All
see
right.
that?
And,
She don't get a Pookie if you didn't allow a Pookie.
But she got an Eli.
Nah, brother, that's not true. She don't get a Pookie if you know, brother. No, brother. No. These women are choosing terrible men. And the culture, not the black men, have allowed them to do that. The culture here in America says that women can choose their own path. That's the culture here. It's not black men. Black men can't come in there and stop a woman from making a bad decision. I can't stop. Okay, let me tell you like this. You marry a woman, you're in the military. You marry a beautiful young woman, she's 18, 19 years old. Maybe you're 26. You're a recruiter. You marry this woman and you put a ring on it and you get her a house and you start having kids, right? But she belongs to the streets, but you married her. And when you go get deployed and go overseas to do whatever you're doing to protect your family, to protect the country, all those good things, she's back at home bored. She's a bored housewife, and she begins to drink, and then she begins to get into trouble. Whose fault is that? Is that the man's fault? She decides to leave the kids with a babysitter while you're gone and goes out clubbing. Whose fault is that? Is that the man's fault? She decides to lay down and sleep around while you're deployed and you're overseas, you protect the country, doing all that you can do, right? She decides to be a hoe. She decides to lay down with your best friend. She decides to lay down with other men in the community. It's matter of fact, she's laying down with so many men, it's getting around the town of who she is. And now you come back. Only to find out that, hey, something's off. People are looking at you strange. People are pointing at, hey, we know her. We didn't know you. We know her, but we don't know you. You see what I'm saying? Whose fault is that? Is that the man's fault? How did the man fix that? Does he divorce that woman? Right? Does he keep that woman? I mean, this woman is embarrassed. She's obviously sleeping with the whole town while he's deployed. I mean, whose fault is that? Is it really the man's fault? Is it really the man's fault? I'm just saying, brother. We gotta, in this society that gives women equal rights with men, they got to be held accountable for their equal rights. We can't force a woman not to lay down with a Pookie because she gives access. She gives access to sex. She controls access to sex. How can a man tell another woman what to do with her body? Don't lay down with this man, but lay down with. We can't do that. She gives access to sex. So how do we fix that, Dr. Umar? You see how Stupid. I should have been on the Daily Wrecking Cruise panel. Man, I would have tore a hole in Dr. Umar, man. Like, what are you talking about, you idiot? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Black men. What, we're supposed to physically force these women to do what we want them to do? We can't do that. We don't have power like that to do that to these women. We'll go to jail. Go to jail. All we have is persuasive words. All we have is threats. Like, hey, if you fuck up, I'm gonna leave. If you fuck up, I'm gonna leave. That's it. How do we fix this situation, brother? Not the way you're talking about. No responsibility on these women to fix their shit. If they want to be part of, how about this? It's the responsibility of the women to fix what they need to fix if they want to be a part of the black community or the new black Jerusalem or the new black community, whatever you want to call it, because we're building something new. We're out with the old. We're throwing the baby and the bathwater out with this generation. You're done, and we're moving on to newer and bigger and better. That's what the black community is doing, man. We're passport throwing it up, man. We're not settling for this disrespect. We don't think our life was meant to suffer. We were meant to build and leave legacy. We were meant to leave an impact on this world. We can't do that with a lot of these women that are in our proximity. So we have to go outside of our proximity to bring in those women.
She ain't come to Eli. She went to Pookie, and that's what we're trying to.
She wouldn't have had a Pookie if we didn't allow one.
Hard in my life.
Right. She wouldn't have had a Pookie if we didn't allow one.
But Dr. Umar,
men supposed to make the raise the boys.
Right. We as men is holding other men accountable for the same thing that you're talking about right now.
What are we doing for the young brothers in the street? So
what you mean, mentoring them? Now, I mean, he's a great father.
Mm-hmm. I ain't talking about that's individual. That's good, but that's individualism. Yeah. What are we doing collectively as men to change the trajectory for black boys in the streets right now? Nothing.
We're being a
talking shit.
Yeah, I mean, you could take it.
It's not going to get better unless we put hands on deck. The reason the athletes and the rappers are the role models is the professional black man moved out the hood.
No, I agree with that.
Where the dentist at? He ain't in the black community no more.
Of course not.
Where the lawyer at? Where the business owner?
Of course not. They're not in the black community because the same thing, it's the crab in the barrel mentality, right? The one somebody rises to the top, the other person tries to pull them down. So why would you stay in a community that tears itself apart after it builds them up? So, but I agree with you. If those professional men would have stayed in the community, they probably would have been more viable option than basketball players and dope boys. You know what I'm saying? Would have been a better option because now we see business owners. Now we see, professional people making it happen, and they're right there in our community where we can see them, touch them, talk to them. So I agree with that. But other than that, no, I'm not rocking with you, doctor. Not on this topic.
Where your city council person at? We abandon black boys, and then we blame black men for poor choices in mates that they should not even have to make if we did a better job raising our boys the right way. At the end of the day, if I'm going to call myself a man, the ultimate responsibility for reconstruction of the black community rests with me. Yes, they have a role. Yes, they have responsibility. But as a man, as a leader, to say I can't fix this shit unless she changes, that's not the definition of a man.
I don't see. I think we're on two different.
You see how he disingenuous?
I don't think we're.
He doesn't know what he's talking about, man. Because that's not even what they're saying, brother. We already decided how we're going to fix this, Dr. Umar. We tried it the Kevin Samuels way, right? Where we just logic them to death, right? Just over logic them. Just you run this scenario until they logically come to get it, but they're not getting it. Kevin Samuels trying to show black women, try to put a mirror up to black women and show them who they are, and that's not working. You know what it's going to take to change? You know what's going to take to fix the black community? The black men have to leave. Leave it. Leave the black community altogether. Just walk away from it. Let these women continue to run it into the ground. until it one day eventually dies out. They already slaughtered 20 million of us through abortion. Our numbers are already low. Our political power has already been reduced. I don't think a black person is going to get anything anymore because we're not even the second majority in the country anymore. And every time we fight for something, it goes to other communities and not ours. So, think that you can blame the black man for that, Dr. Umar, but the real onus is the black woman destroyed that opportunity for us. And you could say systematic, and you could say if the black man was strong enough, all this other stuff. Right? When it comes down to it, the way our culture is, we can't fix it. That's all I'm saying.
Saying that. What I'm saying is I'm capable of being that leader, that provider. I've worked hard in my life. You get what I'm saying? I should not have to.
You still go back to individualism.
But I only feel like we tell black men that we have to now deal with masculine women with children.
Why is she masculine? Because she's had to raise the kids alone. Not one woman, brother. A whole community.
So you mean to tell me the only woman I can look forward in my life is a masculine woman that has kids by other men?
No,
that's what I have to look forward to.
But I'm telling you, mistakes made by black men systemically gave rise to the conditions that allowed her to be masculine and made her end up with a man that you consider to be less than what he should be. And I'm telling you, black men are responsible for her being masculine because we have not helped her raise them children.
No. That's why it's not. You see the look in their face. It's not. Hell no. You are not holding me responsible for that ghetto crackhead whore. Okay, you're not holding me. It's not my fault. She decided to do the drugs. I wasn't there with her. I wasn't in nowhere in the vicinity. She decided to do those things. Okay, but you're not gonna hold me responsible for that, Dr. Sorry. If she decides to open up her legs to 100 men, you're not gonna hold me responsible for that. Say, oh, well, you should have stopped her, brother. What could I have done to stop her? Babe, please don't open your legs. Don't. Please respect yourself. Please don't. Please, contraceptives, birth control pills. Please respect yourself. Don't open your legs to 100. What am I? That's all I can do is plead with her. I'm going to physically stop her. I'll go to jail. I don't want to go to jail. There's nothing you can do. If a woman decides to step out on a man, if a woman decides to be promiscuous, if a woman decides to lay down with another man, nothing you can do. Nothing you can do. She can do it whenever she feels like. She can go get some D whenever she feels like. That's her blessing and her curse. But just understand this: men don't want to be with promiscuous women. Men don't want to be with modern women. Men prefer traditional women. And if you're a man that doesn't prefer traditional women, you prefer the women that we have today, well, go at them. Good for you, Tiger. Go for it. Because a lot of men think like me, or are starting to wake up and think like me, and take it in to get their damn passport and get the hell up out of here. You feel me?
And when I say help them raise them children, I don't mean you as the stepdad.
No,
I mean you as an active member in the community where we go to every single parent black mother and say, how many sons you got? 2? How many sons you got? 2? Well, guess what? That's your son's big brother. That's your son's big brother. He taking them to school. He doing the homework. He gonna spend a couple hours.
No, brother. No. We're not raising lesser men's children. Stop it. Just stop it. That's a ridiculous idea. And that's a ridiculous amount of responsibility to put on all black men because our women decide to be prostitutes and hoes out here. Hell nah, brother. Those babies belong to those women. And guess what? Even though those women are unleashing their children upon the earth, that's your legacy, mama. You made it. So now you gotta go visit it when it goes to jail. You know, you gotta go speak on behalf of him when he murdered somebody, you know, and apologize to the family. That's on you now. No, I get it, man. I get it. It's probably in black men's best interest to be big brothers to these kids that aren't ours, because those same kids are going to grow up and be unbehaved, uncivilized, murderers, pedophiles. It's just a bad. So to prevent that, I guess we could and we should probably come together as a community and do something about it and deal with these kids. But again, that would just be rescuing. That would just be Captain saving these women. And we're not doing that. You made your bed, honey. Lay in it. That's where we're at.
I was with him every Saturday. He got his own kids too, but he's going to make time for you.
No.
She got masculine because she had to become masculine in order to deal with the rape, the abuse, the domestic violence, the disappointments that men had in her life, and also raising those kids and have to take care of herself all at the same time. The black woman has been the be-all, in-all in our community.
But nobody asked her to be that, Dr. Umar. That's what we're trying to tell you. We never told the black woman to do that. She picked that up on her own. Matter of fact, we told her not to do it. She did it anyway. So no, we're not taking the blame. No, sorry, not happening. She got to ride this one out, dog. She made a bed. She got to sleep in it. Big dreams, her dreams, not mine.
Community for half of a century, and now we want to turn around and say because she didn't do it perfectly enough or remain feminine enough when she had to absorb our responsibilities plus her own, that's insensitive and disingenuous.
I don't believe so.
Yeah, I can't.
I mean, I guess I do understand what you're saying.
I'm not taking nothing back from that. To tell me something that we've done systemically to combat that. Because you keep saying me and her. I don't care about me and her.
But there's plenty
women and men. Women and men as a group in the community. You understand?
Right.
We gave birth to that. You see?
No,
so you
brother.
say she had a couple kids already?
No, brother. What you got going on, brother, is like 80 to 90% of the women are sleeping with 10 to 12%, 15% of men in the community. That's what's going on, brother. So it's not men. We got together with all these women, made these babies, and then left these women. No, brother. These women even got outside babies, brother. They got babies by other communities of men. What about those babies? We're supposed to go in and knock, oh, you're a black mother, but you got a half white, half black baby, half Asian, half Hispanic. So we're supposed to jump in and say, hey, I'm your big brother. Come, mira loca. I'm your big brother. No, hell no. Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. Dr. Umar, hell no, brother. We're not doing that, brother. You done lost your mind. You're off your rocker. You lost it.
Because she met men. She probably thought they was good. Some of them, they left her.
She knew they wasn't good.
You don't know that, brother.
She knew they wasn't good.
You're making assumptions about her. Would you make the same assumption if she was a white woman?
Yes, I would.
So you said.
No,
come on, man. Nah.
Brother, you are weak, man. Your arguments are weak. You're trying to pull. You obviously didn't do your homework and know who the Daily Wrap-Up crew guys are, brother. Okay, you should have watched a few more of their podcasts. You should have really paid attention. It ain't all about us knowing. It ain't all about you promoting your school so you can get some money. Yeah, brother, just ridiculous, man. You don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Come on, woman accountable.
So you said,
listen, like I said, I feel like as a black man,
we don't hold them all accountable because black men date outside their race more than every other man put together.
I said we.
So
y'all three.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't disprove that because I don't know you personally.
Even that,
but
if we look at the numbers, black men marry black women at an 87% rate, where black women marry outside of their race, or they marry outside at a 92%.
Black women do not. No, you're wrong.
That's percentages of
you're wrong.
That's not that much.
Black women do not marry out the race more than black men.
I'm not saying that. But the percentages ain't that far off. That's
black
what I'm saying.
women have one of the highest, fastest growing interracial marriage rates. But her interracial marriage rate pales in comparison to what black men have been doing interracially for 4 or 5 decades. You understand? She don't even come close to what we're doing interracially.
Black fathers are in the home more than any other group or race.
Okay. But what
that has no value?
It does have value, but we're going to put that up against the other statistic. 2/3 of our kids are being raised by the women. 2/3 of our kids are being raised by the women. And like I said, when I say being raised, I'm not saying it needs to be a father. I would like a father in that house, but I know it's not enough of us to go around.
Yeah,
we are not even being accountable to the boys in the hood. and we're complaining about the women.
I argue with women
who are making babies with the irresponsible men that we didn't raise correctly. That's bullshit.
Irresponsible men that
That's wimp-ass, weak man shit. Take responsibility for our shit. Stop scapegoating them.
Yeah, I could agree.
Man. You just the hell you think black man, you think that low of us, brother? You think that low of black men that we're supposed to do that shit? Shame on you, brother. We're not doing that. If they aren't our kids, we're not raising them. And for you to require us to do that and think that, no, man, it's simple. You want to fix the black community? Stop messing with those women. Import better women into the community with the culture intact. And start afresh, start anew. Start building something with a woman who is capable of building with you. Leave these non-building, home-wrecking, 9, 10, multiple baby daddy having women for the street hoes alone. I don't care if they got body. I don't care if they got IG. I don't care if they look good. If they are a modern woman, they are a modern tragedy. Leave them alone. That's my take on it.
I could agree to that.
All I'm saying is look at all we can be doing better, man. Half the black boys in the 4th grade can't read. What black men doing about that systemically?
Not enough.
I know what I'm doing about it. I'm building a school for it, 2 of them. Mm-hmm. But systemically, as black men, what are we doing about that? Nothing. Black boys are the most unemployed teenager in America. What black men doing about that? See, the Pookie and Ray Ray you kept talking about? Mm-hmm. We letting them raise right before our eyes, and then we want to criticize us for ending up with one when we should have made sure there were none.
Listen, we all got choices. Just like if I choose to live a lifestyle,
dealing with individualism.
I can't. That's part of choices.
No, it's not. Brother. We have to deal with this systemically. He brought up a question earlier, and he said, "Did we make these problems on our own, or was there some systemics involved?" It was systemics.
Okay.
In 1970, they shut down the factories. They took out the industrial building jobs. 1980, dropped off the crack and the AIDS. 1990, the Bill Clinton crime bill. There's systemic factors at play. You totally divorce your analysis from any systemic factors at all. You ain't mentioned one. You keep talking about her and Pookie and Ray Ray with the kids. You ain't say shit about the systemics. That's exactly what white folks want you to do. That's what white folks want you to do.
I'm saying that
ignore
I have made
what I've done to your women and scapegoat her, because that's what she's doing to you. She's ignoring what the system did to you, and she's going to scapegoat you. And we're both scapegoating each other.
Okay, that's fair.
So if you know that, Dr. Umar, you just told on yourself, brother. If you know that we're both scapegoating each other, and you know that it's systematic, because you brought up the CIA and they infiltrated and they did this and that. We know about the crack in the 80s. We know about how that devastated us. Now that was also CIA and all that other stuff that came out, right? We know about the mass incarceration and the 3 strikes bill and just trying to get as many black men in the system as possible. And you know that. And you know that these women don't give us no grace, but you want us to give them grace. You want us to keep saving these women who need to fall in order to pick themselves back up again, so they need to fall, feel it, and then it needs to hurt so much that they never want to go back to it again. Does that make sense? That's what needs to happen. They need to fall and they need to feel it. If they don't fall and they don't feel it, they won't change. See, all this, let me talk about this real quick. I want to talk to my tantra brothers real quick. I got to talk to y'all knuckleheads, thinking that you're the divine masculine and you're just gonna show up, and these women are gonna treat you with respect. And I had a brother text me the other day talking about even studs are soft and feminine when around me. Did you really just say that, brother? That studs are soft and feminine? Come on. Even the studs are soft and feminine when around me, because I'm in my divine masculine. Shut that shit up. Will you stop it? You're in your divine. I'm a masculine male. I'm very masculine, okay? I'm very alpha, okay? And I don't even expect these women to bow down. You know what I'm saying? Because they weren't taught to. It's not their culture. They don't know how to submit to a man. They don't know how to appreciate the man because it's not anything that's in them. So when my masculine shows up and it comes across their masculine, even though my masculine will overpower their masculine, they have to challenge my masculine because they're not used to a masculine male. They're used to effeminate males. They're used to being able to tell men what to do and boss them around and cuss them out. They can't do that with me, right? That's what they're used to. So all this, when the divine man, when the masculine, when the alpha appears, they all just no. Unless that alpha gets to tear everybody up who ain't listening, no, that's not how it happens. Now you let that alpha be an alpha, let them tear some stuff up. Oh, you're gonna get some order back real quick. But until then, until you keep tying the man's hand and then telling them to fix it, like Dr. Umar is doing, that's why this dude. He said he's building a school, brother. You have no kids in that school. When's it gonna be ready? 2028, 2029, 2030? Okay, how long the black community got to wait for this school, brother? I mean, this is what I'm doing to counter. What are you doing? Man, shut that shit up. You know what I'm doing? I'm being black. I'm being successful. That's what I'm doing. I'm being a living example, a living epistle. And if that's not good enough, then Jesus told them, Muhammad told them, Farrakhan told them, Elijah Muhammad told them, hey man, shit. They want to hear it from me too? No, let me just be successful and black, and and let me be that example. And if they don't see it from that, then they ain't never gonna see it. How about that, Dr. Umar?
But analysis is feeding the gender war. It's not solving it.
Listen, I
don't mind us holding the women accountable. I don't mind us holding the men accountable.
Right?
Yeah.
But when we're going to hold the system accountable as well.
That's fair.
And if we're going to hold the system accountable, that also means we got to make our own systems too. Black men have not been manly in quite some time when it comes to raising boys.
How would you suggest that black men take on?
Black men have not been allowed to raise boys. Black women have been raising the community. So many things is off of what you're saying. It's just propaganda. You want money for your school, but at the end of the day, you're going to say a lot of truism because you want some money for your school. You're pandering because you need a job, brother. You need to go out there and you need to work a 9 to 5, man. This is not yeah, man. Please don't go into politics, brother, because you're not going to get any votes. You might get a few struggling older black people, maybe some black women. I don't know. But you're washed up, brother. You had your time and you missed the moment. Dr. Umar, you missed it. Your moment was back in 2013, maybe, but you missed it. Okay? You missed it, brother. Just want to let you know that. You missed it.
On the role of leadership,
especially when there's an attack on black masculinity.
Without women willing to listen to us. You get what I'm saying? How do we prove our worth or take back the leadership
care of the boys?
role?
You want the women back? Take care of these damn boys. They run in the hood, killing people at will, flunking out of school, following the lead of the gangster rappers. There's a whole bunch of stuff we can do that ain't got nothing to do with the women, boys and men. Do you understand? Deal with the boys and the men. Leave her out of it and go straight to the boys. And you'll get her respect back. Give them jobs, give them education. Give them training, give them your time.
That's a myth.
They're not getting nothing.
You think that if you raise her boy to be a man, she's going to respect you. You think because you become a stepfather to her children that she's going to respect you. You think because you're a big brother to her children that they're going to respect you. I'm sorry. I mean, they have proven time and time again they can become even more indignant. See, because what you're going to do is you're going to raise that man to be an alpha, to raise that man to be a man. Then he's going to go home and his mother's going to emasculate him and challenge his masculinity. And she's going to feel threatened by it, so she's going to try to stamp it out. And eventually, she's not going to let that boy you're not going to be that mentor, that big brother anymore. You see what I'm saying, Dr. Umar? Sounds good in your head and maybe a little bit on paper, but it's not realistic, brother. It's not. Just not. You're just spitting out a bunch of nothingness that doesn't make sense. You're just babbling at this point. And it looks bad.
None of that from black men. We don't give a shit about black boys. And then we're gonna get mad at her for ending up with one later in life. It's ridiculous.
Like I said,
we product and get mad for her for ending up consuming the product.
She could consume whatever she wants. I'm just saying, as a black man,
it's not about her consuming whatever she wants, brother. Because if we're trying to fix the black community, everybody and everything matters. It's not individual. You're an individualist. You're not thinking as a community. Your whole analysis is based on me and her. Step out of that shit. This is systems at play. You understand?
Right.
Multiple black men screwed up. Multiple black women screwed up. You understand me? Look at the systemic nature and say, what system do we need to create as black men to prevent the Pookie and Ray Ray from coming into existence?
Or I, as a black man, can just look for a woman that is healed, that is leading in her femininity, that doesn't have a child by another woman.
But that doesn't solve community problems.
That does solve community problems, my brother.
Community solutions. That's individualism.
All right.
Speaking of that,
so we're done with the video. We went through it. We went through it. We went through it. We went through it. And what did we come to the conclusion? What was Dr. Umar pointing at this whole time? If you got to the end of the video and you watched the whole daily wrap-up pre-video, you know what he's leading to? His school. And he can't get money from his school by disrespecting black women. Can't do it. So, of course, he's going to pander to them, tell them exactly what they want to hear. I mean, isn't that how he got into all these other women's bed? He just told those women what they want to hear. He used King Kong consciousness to impregnate these women. That's why he got 2 girls. Isn't he not a product of a single mother himself? Isn't he, on the Dennis Burley show, we were talking about him being a girl dad. Look at all these things. See, he had all these truisms, but he has to pander to women because that's how he makes his money. If you look at if we probably ran the analytics on Ifan Tunde or whatever on Dr. Umar, we probably see that 90% of his followers. Let's be real. I mean, he'll probably never show us his analytics, but we know, man. It's a lot. It's 55, 60, 70% women, 80% women, and you can't get money for a school with no children in them without pandering to black women. You're telling black men to get out of the Democratic Party, which is good, and become independent, which is good. Some of your things, some of your theories, some of the stuff makes sense. Maybe you stole it from someone else, and they're just now you're using the talking points as your own. I don't know, brother. I don't know, Dr. Umar. But I know that you're outdated. You're not in season anymore. What you're saying doesn't add up too much. It's old. You need to get a new message. You need to upgrade your Pan-Africanism. Okay, you need to add some AI so you can automate some things. You know what I'm talking about? You need a system update. Okay, you need a system update to 2023. That's what you need, bro. Because you lost it. You lost the panel and you lost me when you said black men have to go in there and raise children that don't belong to him. You're not asking any other race. You're not asking America, right, to say, okay, listen, man, since you systematically started this problem, you need to systematically fix this problem. You need to, no. You're telling other black men to go fix this problem that they didn't start. You try to convince us that we are to blame. In essence, yes, it all falls back on us. We understand that. But we are not allowed to fix. Now, if we understand and know that, then how about this? Allow black men to fix the problem the way we want to, not the way you want to, Dr. Umar. Allow us to fix the problem the way we want to. How about that? And right now, we done came up with a solution. The solution is these women must die in the wilderness. They cannot come to the new black Jerusalem. They cannot be a part of the new black community. They have too many mouths. They have too many children sired by too many different men. It's too many. They have swam past the point of no return to where they have to finish their journey, and that journey is probably going to end to just the deep abyss because there is no land on the other side for them to swim to. A lot of them wreck their lives, and you're asking black men to be Captain Save-A-Holes and save them once again. No, not after all the shit they talked. Not after what they did to Kevin Samuels, right? Laughing and wishing death. No, they done gone too far, brother. So, Dr. Umar, all that pandering to women, we know who you are now. We know that you didn't switch roles and you became part of the establishment. Maybe the CIA infiltrated you, maybe the FBI. I don't know. But you're oppy. You seem a little oppy now. You seem a little bit you're just taking the message and you're just saying that you're TD Jakes in us right now. You're 1999 blessing us for 99 blessings. You're doing that stuff, man. We don't want that. You sound like a false prophet. You sound like a pandering preacher right now. I'm trying to get to your concept, but I can't get past the fact that you won't hold black women accountable. I can't get past the fact that you still care what black women think or what women think in general. I can't get past the fact that I can't even call you a thorough brother or a thorough man because I just don't look at you in that light, brother, because you're not speaking to me. You may have an army, but I'm not in it. You may have a following, but I'm not part of it. I'm the critical one on the outside looking in like, nah, this is a cult. You see what I'm saying? You sound real, you sound real outdated. And your message is real outdated. Maybe 20 years ago that would work, but just today it's outdated. It's too late. It's too late. And, I would love for you to finally come over to the other side, brother, and admit that you're wrong. And maybe brothers will rock with you again. But just admit that you're wrong. Admit that you're wrong about these black women. Stop depending on black women to donate to your little school fund. And be a man and get men to donate. It's like, man, I don't ever want to show up at a church that there's one man preaching and there's a bunch of women, because then I know he's got to pander to the women. I want to walk to a church where there's nothing but men, and I want the pastor to talk to the men like men. See what I'm saying here? So, hey, man, this was one hell of a show. One hell of a show. One hell of a show. Amazing. Yes, it was. Hey, man, we had to tear into our boy Dr. Umar, but we still got love for the brother, man. The Pan-African pimp, the King Kong of consciousness, right? He called himself, right? We still got love for him, brother, but you got to change your message, man. And you got to prove to us that you're a solid individual and that you're not working for the other side, man. Because right now you sound like you're part of the establishment. You sound like you want brothers to stay here in the matrix and suffer, and we're not doing that, brother. You don't want these women to suffer, but you want the black men to suffer. What type of man are you, brother? You can't even call you a man. Where's your ruthlessness at? Are you even ruthless anymore, brother? Do you have a ruthless bone in your body? Or is it all just pandering for school lunches? That's all I'm gonna say about that, man. Hey, man, y'all, thank y'all for watching the bro. To those who came in and joined the late night broadcast, man, I just been wanting to talk about this for a long time. I work during the day, so I gotta, I'm trying to get back on my square again and give you all this content, and we're gonna do it. And we're gonna do it. We're gonna make it happen. I got so many things I'm doing at one time. I'm actually trying to relieve myself of some duties, and I'm actually trying to focus more on the task that I have at hand. But yeah, man, Dr. Umar, man, come on my show, man. Let's debate. Let's debate, man. Even with all your intellect and your history and your knowledge, man, little old me can take you out. Little old me can have a conversation because I'm logical. I'm logical, so you're gonna have to reason with me. You can't do that. You can't pull the Holy Ghost on me. I'm not dancing to your tune, brother. You got to come with something more than it's the black man's fault and systemic racism, because we heard all that before. Okay. What solutions are really available to black men, and what solution is more viable? Right now, it's more viable? Passport Bros. And why don't you support Passport Bros, Dr. Umar? Why do you support black women marrying African men, but you're not supporting black men marrying African women? Or do you? Or is it just black? Well, I don't know, man. Why can't a brother marry a woman in the Philippines? Right? All this, she can't man, shut that stuff up, man. Them babies is going to be black as long as that black man's in that house. And let me tell you something. Brothers are not looking for women to understand their struggle. We're looking for women to be wives. Brothers, we're not looking for, let me tell you something. See, when you start with this soulmate stuff, that's where you lose me too, man, because that's all that's proper. There's no such thing as a soulmate. There's a husband and there's a wife. There's no fucking soulmate. There's no fucking pie in the sky where you waiting on shit to drop out the sky and land in. There's no Amazon delivery for a soulmate. You understand me? Leave that word out your mouth. It's only the woman I choose to be with and the woman that chooses me. That's it. Hell yeah, we need to go back to arranged marriages. That'll also fix the black community, right? But Dr. Umar, man, just lazy, man. You didn't do your homework on the daily wrap-up, brother. You should have known who you were talking to. You didn't know you're talking to some solid brothers, man. And you came into their podcast, over talking them, doing all, just a bad look on you, brother. Just a bad look. And those brothers were humble and they gave you your respect. I commend those. I commend the Daily Wrap-Up crew for putting up with you, brother. Because, if you was on my platform, I'd have to shut your mic off. I'd have to mute you the way you was over talking. When you come on people's pocket, they're expecting the dialogue. They're expecting to be some back and forth. I listen to you, you listen to me, but you didn't even listen to those, bro. They couldn't even finish their question after time. They couldn't even finish their thought before you jumped in. Bad luck for you, brother. But anyway, man, this has been the Too Much Moxie podcast. I am your humble host, Too Much, and we are out. Peace.
Yeah, I feel like I joined the choir. Yeah, I feel like I joined the choir. Shit, I should go to church.